Hey guys, welcome to Life Theory.
Today we're going to talk about what is the right way to disagree. We're going to see about disagreeing with your peers, the people at the same level as you, but also how we should approach disagreeing with people underneath you. Whether, high-handed, not high-handed, there's many different ways. But
And lastly, and maybe most applicable for us young people, we're going to figure out how to disagree with people older than you and people in authority over you. So, with that being said, roll intro.
So, we first thought of this topic back, actually when Charlie Kirk died.
Yes.
Because he had his whole thing about he would challenge people to disagree with him and
With words.
Yes.
Because he said that as soon as discourse dies, people get violent.
Yes.
And they proved him right.
Yep. So we just wanted to talk about disagreements and
Correct ways to disagree and have dialogue.
Yep.
I also want to point out we're in a basement.
We're back.
Which is great. We're back in the basement, the creepy basement.
It's a different one.
Different creepy basement. We haven't recorded this creepy basement yet.
Yeah.
We recorded at 2 other creepy basements, but not this one. So it's a change of pace.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna be having an interesting one. It's gonna be a quick one because we have a record limit on that. Who knows? We might go over it and just restart. But
we might lose video. Hopefully not, but it's a possibility.
With that being said, what are we drinking? I think I can guess.
It's just orange juice.
It's orange juice.
It's just orange juice.
Hey, but a good glass of orange juice never hurt anyone.
No. I mean, well it can, because it can spike
blood sugar
or something like that. It spikes something. It can. So if you're sensitive to that, whatever.
So diabetics, it can hurt. For us, it's great. Alright.
Yeah.
Since you broke the pocket, I think I'm up first, right?
Yes, you are.
You didn't sink anything, did you?
Nope.
Alright. So, we're talking about how to disagree, right?
Yep. We're starting out with talking to peers.
Yep.
So
which I feel like simultaneously is the easiest and the hardest to think about.
Because sometimes you feel like you're level with the person, so you want to you kind of want to be respectful of their opinion as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
sometimes you'll know more or less than someone that is your same age, and so it kind of makes it hard because you're like, wait, I think I know more than them, but also we're the same age, so I don't want to assume that I'm above someone.
Wow. Horrible.
Oh, and you scratch.
Yeah, because it's just it can get very difficult.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a difficult thing of trying to figure out where you are, trying to get an understanding with someone that when you're trying to disagree with them.
Yeah.
And I deal with that a lot because there are certain topics where I know enough to get me in trouble, but I don't actually know them.
So what we're talking about is how to. How do we... What's the best way to approach what we know? Okay, let's say beforehand. We're going to start with this. Before everything, you know it's going to be a disagreement. What's your take on, okay, here's kind of the best way to come into something.
How to approach it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think for me, a good way to approach this, first of all, complete honesty, right?
Yeah.
There's kind of this feeling that we try to spare people's feelings in order to preserve the friendship or something.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't ever work out in the end.
No.
So you still should be polite. I think there's a nice and a mean way to say anything.
Yep.
But that honesty, oh nice, I got one. That honesty of just saying, hey, like maybe you have a problem or maybe it's just something you disagree and you need to let them know. And you go, hey, I need to talk to you about something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Don't yell at them in public.
Yes.
Don't embarrass them in front of your guys' friends.
Yeah.
And don't try to showboat. Be like, hey, I have a disagreement I want to talk about. So like that's how you'd approach it, right?
Yes.
So then we go into, when you're in that discussion, what are some things to keep in mind so that it's a discussion, not an argument. In other words, it is a exchange of ideas and thoughts and opinions, not an emotional battle of a battle of emotions in a personal fight.
Yeah. So I'd say probably the best way to start is to understand that you have a possibility of being wrong. So like I have a possibility of being wrong coming into this disagreement. Mm-hmm. And so when I bring up this topic, I know, so I'm not going to just be like, I'm right and you're wrong and here's why. Because maybe I am wrong. So
yeah,
that's kind of the best thing to keep on your mind at first, to just keep that, to kind of help you not get like tunnel vision.
Yeah, tunnel vision.
Yeah, you can't see the other options.
Yeah. And I think another good thing, it's right here.
I can remember which one you had.
Oh yeah, I've solids. You have stripes. Another thing to keep in mind, I think, is to remember that regardless of the disagreements, especially when you're disagreeing with a Christian, it's still a brother or sister in Christ.
Yes.
And so they still, and no matter who it is, even if it's not a Christian, people deserve respect.
Yes.
And even someone with an insane idea, like I have talked to and had some wonderful conversations with people that believe in flat Earth.
Yeah.
And in most of our minds, we go, how in the world could someone believe that?
Yeah.
But the truth is, oh, sorry, not gonna follow me for that.
No, right.
All right. The truth is, some people just it's actually very interesting when you talk to them and you come to understanding of why they have that point of view.
Yep.
And so that compassion of, regardless of what we disagree with,
I did it again.
Regardless of how we disagree, the respect should never leave.
Yes.
So that, I think that's something to keep in mind. And also to come at it with curiosity.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like, like you said, it can be easy to be like, well, I know I'm right, I'm just gonna prove I'm right, and that's that.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, I'm interested, even for someone that's wrong, to know why they believe what they believe and why they think what they do.
Yeah. And maybe you can, when you see their point of view, maybe you can think of a good way to explain without just a blustering, I'm right, you're wrong. Maybe you can be like, okay, so here's my point of view. Mm-hmm. Here's why I see mine's right, maybe. And you kind of also have to understand coming into it, like if you're going to initiate some type of disagreement, understand that they're probably going to get defensive.
Yeah.
But
which that leads perfectly in, and I think you'd have some good ideas for this on that topic. If you're in a discussion, you still got stripes. I don't know how you're gonna do this. Don't hit the 8 ball.
I just can't hit it.
Well, I mean, thank you.
Anyway.
If you're in a disagreement, right? You're having this disagreement, say, it could be about religion, about politics, about personal choices, whatever. And emotions start getting high. And people start getting upset, start getting frustrated. And you start asking yourself the question, like, you start feeling it too.
Yeah.
What do? Do you keep going? Do you completely shut it down? Do you talk about that ever again? Like, what are some things to think about if something like that starts happening?
I think try to keep, like, you want to be able to recognize something like that. And if you recognize it happening, do your best to be like, hey, I need to step away for a minute. Can we step away? Can we come back?
Yeah.
Because heated emotions never solve anything.
No.
Never. And so we're not great at this.
You're actually helping me be better.
Yeah. You're welcome.
But yeah, heated emotions, not a good idea.
No.
I've noticed, so I kind of have a rule. Do I always follow it? No. And I should do it more. I have a rule that if emotions start getting heated, we have, for instance, if I'm calm, the other person's upset, I like to give them the option of, hey, if you're starting, because maybe someone's just passionate but not really upset.
Yeah.
So you can say, hey, if you don't want to talk about this right now, we can stop talking about it.
Yeah.
I think giving that out is very, very important.
Mm-hmm. And, giving that out is definitely important. I think another thing, too, is if you are going to be initiating the disagreement...
Yeah.
Do your best to be very studied, I guess. Like, be prepared. Don't come into this just being like, I got upset about one thing, I haven't looked into anything at all, but I'm mad at you and I disagree. Dude, like,
yeah,
because sometimes you can disagree with somebody and you can look into it beforehand and be like, oh wait, I'm wrong. And nothing happens.
And you don't even have to have a discussion, you're just like, oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. So there's a preventative. But, so kind of overall, especially with peers, and some of these carry over to everything.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who you're having a disagreement with. Remember that you are peers.
Mm-hmm.
And so don't come in thinking that you are completely right.
Yeah.
And kind of like make sure you're calm and don't be afraid to walk away to calm down.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Especially if I'm mad, I will say, hey, I'm sorry. I'm getting upset. I can't have this conversation. Like, that's, again, it's my goal. Sometimes I succumb to the lust of the flesh and want to keep being right. Mm-hmm. But that's not godly. It's much more godly if you're in an ungodly state to walk away, talk to the Lord, repent, come back, have a productive conversation.
Yes.
So, let's see. How can we then apply what we learn about peers and what might we need to add for those that are under us? If we're in authority, say we are parents, right? We're Sunday school teachers, song leaders, preachers.
Managerial
positions.
Yeah.
Older siblings even, depending what your role is in your house.
Yeah. So I have some decent experience in authority position.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best things is sometimes you know 100% sure you're right in whatever this is. You're in that authority position. You have
because you have more experience than the people under you.
Yeah, and so you just know. I know I'm right, but they're not going to see that right away, and so this is the coming in thinking you might be wrong. It doesn't apply to that.
Yeah,
but still having a good attitude, a good tone of voice. Tone of voice helps with so much.
Yeah.
But coming in and just, that's where you have to understand, like, I am in charge, so I have the authority. So you do kind of have to, I would say, I have to be more of, look, I know what I'm talking about. You need to, you know.
Yeah, if you have the time and if you have the ability in the moment, explaining it to them would be awesome. Like, I currently, for a week, was in a managerial position. And there was times where they didn't know what they didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
And so I could have done it for them. But so that I didn't have to keep micromanaging, I instead taught them.
Yeah.
So that's something where I've had to learn how to definitely, in when those issues, how to handle them calmly. And so there is times with, like you said, with disagreements where you're like, okay, I know what to do. Do this, do this, do this.
Mm-hmm.
When there's disagreements, I will say that's hard because then they kind of look at you as the arbiter. Yeah. And you have to be like, well, sometimes there isn't necessarily a right answer.
Yeah.
But with people under you, sometimes you have to make a decision.
Yep.
So that can be difficult. But in those times, I think, again, it's that learning and being willing to admit when you don't know. Because in disagreements where you have people under you, it can be tempting to be prideful.
Yes.
To be like, psh, I know what I'm doing. Like, what are you talking about? So, don't do that. What are some other things we can remember when going into disagreements with people that are below you in authority?
Don't get defensive when, because there's gonna be times when they started. They bring something up that's I feel like that's even more often.
Yeah.
So one kind of expects stuff like that.
Yep.
But then also, don't just immediately brush them off. Don't just immediately be like, well, I'm an authority. I know what I'm talking about. Go away. Because that's gonna just make them upset.
Yeah.
And that's not a good way to approach that type of
that's
situation.
managing, not leading.
Yes.
So you want to be leading. Leading is, one, should be done not only in word but in example. And two, shouldn't just be done to get whatever the thing is done. Say, make sure church gets done or Sunday school happens, or make sure the job gets done, or the customer gets served. All of those things are important and should happen.
Yep.
But as a leader, especially in disagreements, your job is to help those under you to grow. Nice. It's to help those under you to grow. Yep. And help those under you to succeed.
Yeah.
And so, and the result of helping your employees or those under you to grow and succeed is often that the customer gets served better, their service goes better,
Yep.
It does result in that, but that should be your primary focus. If your primary focus is just to get this thing done right now, usually you're going to do better than the person under you.
Yeah.
So then you're going to default to that, and they'll never learn.
Yeah.
So in disagreements, try to teach and try to help those under you to grow.
Yeah.
So now that we covered that, what about people in authority over us. That's kind of the opposite situation.
Yeah.
You know?
That can be hard to... I recently had a situation where I had to talk to this, like, kind of... It was something I felt strongly about.
Yep.
That I brought up to somebody over me.
Yep.
I don't know if this is for everybody, but wow, was I nervous.
I think you should if it's someone in authority, because you don't want to be disrespectful.
Yep.
But yet, if it is something that needs to be said, then it's a situation where you go, like, I want to be so careful that I'm being respectful.
Yeah.
So I think nervousness is probably, fine.
Yep. But you want to come in. This one actually is similar to peers on the fact of acknowledge that you could be wrong.
Except maybe even more so.
Maybe even more so.
Because there's a reason they're in the position they are.
Yep. And sometimes there's a situation that you disagree with, but you don't know all the facts.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, even more so is possible that you could be wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, I'll use my situation as an example. I went to this person and I was just like, okay, here's what I'm seeing.
I can't hit your ball first, right?
No, yeah, you can hit whatever you want.
Oh, cool.
I was like, here's what I'm seeing. Here's what I disagree with.
Yeah, because if I'm getting the situation right, it was a situation where you saw, like, shortcomings potentially in the life of an authority.
Yep, and I was like, I came at it with, like, look, I know I could be wrong. If that's the case, tell me. And also, so here's what I see. Here's my problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so using message, present your case, present your disagreement.
Oh, and also, again, just like peers, in private.
Yes.
Because otherwise, it is disrespectful to be disagreeing with your authority in public, and because that's disrespectful to be just shaming and yelling at someone in public, and it shouldn't happen.
Yeah. Yes, in private, and I brought. So, bring your disagreement, state your facts, and once you're done, shut up.
Shut up and listen.
Shut up and listen. Because then you be quiet, you can listen to their response, and hopefully this is somebody who has a good attitude and is willing to hear you out and then give a good response. But listen to whatever the response is.
Yep.
And
really consider it. Don't just try to come up with a comeback.
Yes. Yep. Don't be sitting there just like, oh, I gotta come back to that. Listen to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let them give their entire response before your comeback or your response. Listen and work it out through, because I feel like it's very often when you have a disagreement with somebody in authority that there's just a lot you don't know.
Yeah.
So when you come to it, you give your son, they give theirs, like, here's what you don't know. And you're just like, oh, okay.
Yep.
And it just ends there. And sometimes...
That's happened to me a lot.
Yeah, me too, in that situation. But, there's sometimes when you come to somebody and they're in authority and they're just like, thank you. And, here's what you don't know, but here's how maybe we'll try to change things. And...
Yeah.
So it could be, but when you come with that respectful attitude, they are so much more willing to be work with you.
Yeah.
That's something I've noticed too, because I have had issues with management, and they're like, well, doesn't matter, get back. I've had other issues with other management. I'm telling them, hey, here's my issue. Here's what I disagree with you about. And they're like, you're wrong, but thank you for having a really good attitude about it. Or you're right. Yeah. And also, thank you for your attitude. You could have totally been like really irate about this. But it's just a lot of this comes down to attitude.
It really does, though, because disagreeing is okay.
Yes.
But it comes down to the attitude.
Yeah.
I know, like, for myself, I used to be really bad about my disagreements with authority. I would be, like, telling them off, thinking I knew what's best. Basic teenager things.
No, it's nothing.
And it's something where I had to... There was a couple of times. There's one specific thing where I had a conversation with a guy. And it wasn't even a disagreement. It was just more, I wanted to do something, and he had requirements of who I had to be before I could do it. And I really wanted to be mad at him, because that's what I'd done every other time. But he presented his case very, very well. And I was like, what do I get mad at? I'm just mad. The Holy Spirit's like, you're mad because he's right. Because the authority in your life is seeing things in your life that you're not willing to fix.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I hate that. But that was he. God used the authority in my life to be like, no, you need to change things. Don't just get mad at people for pointing out your flaws.
Yeah.
And it also taught me you need to be respectful towards them, because they see things in your life you don't see. If you want to grow, ask an authority in your life what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, how to disagree. Here's more specifically, how do you disagree? How do you approach it if you want to make an appeal? All right, say an authority says, let's use this as an example. Because a lot of things could go either way, and if it could go either way, you can appeal, but ultimately you should agree with the authority. If, I'd rather do it this way. He's like, no, we're doing it this way. Yes. But that would happen at manufacturing jobs. I'm like, I think this way is what, I don't care. We're doing it this way. This is the way we do it. And I had to learn, after working there for a while, I was like, oh, I see why they do it that way. Yeah. Because I just didn't know. But there is a few situations, like for instance, I had a job that wanted me to work Sundays. And I just said, I can't.
Yeah.
But there's a respectful and disrespectful way. If you say it right off the bat, like, for instance, in your interview, then you can be like, it's not something that you're on a whim, like, nope, I don't want to work weekends. Yeah. It's, I have an actual reason. Again, coming prepared with actual reasons. Why am I doing so good? Alright, I'm going to call this pocket.
Okay.
Having actual reasons, and if you're right and they still disagree, then you still need to submit to authority by submitting to the consequences.
Yeah.
Right? That's where submission comes in, even in a disagreement, where you are unwilling to, or unable to agree with them.
Yeah.
So, like, what's a good way to approach that, where you're like, no, we're at a stalemate. I actually can't agree with you, even though you are the authority, and I want to respect you.
Very similar to just how you just phrased it.
Okay. I just want to see if I was missing anything.
Yeah, because there are just those situations, and especially for something that example you gave of I can't work Sundays, that's something you want to bring up in your interview, because then you can just be like, look, I already told you when I got hired, I can't work Sundays. I'm sorry. It just will not work out. I've never had to be in that situation, but I've known many people who have, and they've said nearly every time, as long as they stuck with it, the management's going to be fine. But then...
because it's clearly communicated.
Yeah. And there's other people who said it and management wasn't fine. They got fired. Well, then
they submitted to the consequences.
They found a better job.
Yeah.
So,
because it's clear if you get fired for something that you truly believe in, that there is a mismatch of values.
yes.
Let me call that talking again.
Okay.
So you have to understand, if there's a disagreement with a peer, with someone below you, or with someone above you, and you can't come to an agreement, you can't even respectfully disagree because it's a conflict of values, not just a conflict of opinion, preference, or interpretation.
Yeah.
That is when you have to... Sometimes there is that separation that has to happen, where you have to step back from a friendship, or you have to, someone says they won't work this way, and you have to fire them, or someone else above you, or you have to leave a job, and it's hard, but it's that respect of when you disagree, you submit to. You don't try to play games. You don't try to play games with them. You're very honest.
Yeah.
I do disagree, but this isn't it. So that's basically it. We need to learn how, with peers, how to be respectful and not let emotions get in the way.
Yep.
When it comes to people under you, learn how to be kind but firm in explaining what you know, especially if you know you're right, being patient with them in a disagreement. And if it's someone above you, you need to have extreme humility, because often you don't know everything.
Yes.
And you don't know what they know, and you'll learn a lot more by listening than by talking, when it's an authority. So, with that being said,
there's a lot of attitude involved, and there's probably more. There's probably more that we didn't touch on.
Yeah.
But we'd definitely like to see what other people's opinions are.
Yeah. What's some tricks you guys have for disagreeing?
Yeah.
To make it productive rather than hurtful.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's a good place to end it. Yeah. Next week we'll be hopefully back in our normal position.
Back to usual. We're going to camp, so we had a weird episode for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I basically won.
Pretty much.
I just couldn't get the 8-ball in. I had extreme luck. I'm not actually good at pool.
I usually am. It's just been a long time.
We just flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Yes.
And we'll catch you guys next week.
All right, bye.
All right, bye guys.